Good morning, everyone. We're winding down the week, but that's when we start getting busy with our bundled firewood deliveries to the campground. I'm gonna make a few bundles today and show you how we have it set up. The operation remains the same, but the location changes. So today it's starting to get hot. And in the garage here, I got some air conditioning blowing out of the vent, so it makes it a little bit more comfortable. The way I have it set up, I put all my wood into my Ultratec dump trailer. The four-wheeler backs it in. I'll have about 20 bundles out of this wood right here. And this is going to the campground, so we don't put labels in these. And we make two different sizes. The sizes that we're making today is the 3/4 cubic foot, but we're adding just a little bit extra to them. The wrapping machine I got is the Twister. It's made in Wisconsin. It's been around for a long time. I just felt comfortable buying it. A lot of these wrappers, they're pretty much the same design. But there are some subtle differences, and if you start looking into them, you start finding the ones that make the most sense for you. I've seen some that look just like this, but they're heavier and they're put on forks, and you just can't move them around. They got to be forked around with a front end loader. This is a little bit lighter. It's on wheels. I can move it around to where I want to, and you can adjust the height so that it's sitting level. This is electric. It's got the foot pedal. When you step on it, it turns the motor. I've seen others that are gas powered, and I think those would probably make sense if you're out in a field somewhere, if that's where your operation is set. The electric model makes a lot of sense for me. Where I'm going to be making bundles is always around an electrical outlet, and I can still run extension cords. This machine makes two different size bundles. It makes a 3/4 cubic foot bundle, and that is with these shims that you put in. It makes it a 9-inch square, so it's 9 inches from here and 9 inches from here. There is the 1 cubic foot bundle, which you would remove these interior shims, and then this would be 12-inch by 12-inch. This machine uses stretch wrap, and it comes on a 3-inch cardboard tube. So I've learned that there's different types of stretch wrap. There is cast and blown, and the cast stretch wrap is a lot easier to work with. It's cheaper, and it's a lot quieter because these things can be pretty loud on your ears when they're unraveling. This stuff that I got is pretty quiet. There are all kinds of vendors out there for this stretch wrap, and I have found one that was ironically here in Ohio, and it was the least expensive case that I have ever bought, and the delivery out here is real quick. So I'll put a link to their website down below. I have no affiliation with them, but I just had some good luck with them. I'm gonna show you how the tensioner is. I think these are kind of neat to look at. So even though I still have a lot of wrap left on this, I'm gonna just go ahead and change it out to a fresh roll. And this is the spring. The nut controls the tension, and it pushes this block into the roll, and that's how you can control the tension. You can tighten or loosen it. And here is this has a keyway on it, and the washer goes into the slot. That keeps the nut from not loosening while the arm's going around. You put on your spring and tighten the nut. And then from there, you just gotta control your tension, and you can see the wrap starting to stretch. They give you the directions. You tighten it until the stretch breaks, and then you back it off, and that's a good tension. With this machine, I got 4 speed loader trays, and they do make things a lot faster. I'll give a demonstration with it. This is how they work. You have a coworker that will be loading these up. You would just pick them up, stick them in, and then you're fully loaded, and then this goes back to the end of the line, and then you have a system set up, and you can really crank these out. I did 60 bundles in 1 hour one time working with another person. That's pretty fast. And it has an electric motor. You can adjust the tension on the belt, and it has 1 grease fitting. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a bundle. I'll show you how it's done. This is this is a time for you to have good firewood, consistent length, 16 inches. And it seems like you can always find that special piece that you need. If it needs to have a pointy edge on it, or if it just needs to be flat, you can always find the piece that you're looking for to make a nice square bundle. You start your stretch wrap on top, you lay your hand flat and you step on the gas. And we do 3 wraps. I will, when it's still under tension, I'll just break it right around here and then give it a karate chop. And there you go. And here's your bundle. Looks nice. I had done my research on these. I watched a lot of videos, and there were people on the internet, that were claiming they could make 60 bundles in an hour if they hustle. And when I first started making these bundles, I had quickly concluded that those people were foolish because there's no way. I remember the first time I did this, I made like 15 in 1 hour. And I thought, this is not going to work out. But I started noticing that the more bundles that I made, the faster I was getting. And it is, I am very confident I can make probably 40 to 45 bundles in an hour. And that would be making campground bundles. Now, the convenience store bundles, I do spend a lot more time with them because, looks count for something. It's got my label on it, so it's got my company name. And I don't want anyone out there in the Mahoning Valley with a poorly made bundle of firewood that says Ohio Woodburner on it. So yes, I do spend more time with that. If you wrap wood that's not fully seasoned, the log's going to start drying out and it's going to shrink, and that makes the stretch wrap slack. At the campground, you don't have to worry about that because all of these are going to be sold this weekend. They're not going to sit around long. If I were making this for a convenience store, it would be absolutely 100% dry seasoned, probably ash because it looks great. And I would put 5 wraps on it, and the label would go under the last wrap so that it can be seen pretty good. Which should also be a consideration if you are using labels, because this is the cast stretch wrap. It's a lot clearer, and I guess the blown shrink wrap is a little bit more opaque, and it's harder to see your labels underneath it. So you just try to get the right fit. And that gets into the economy of bundles. And that about the sizes, the big bundle, which is a cubic foot, and the smaller ones, which is 3/4. So there are 128 bundles in a quart of firewood if you make them 1 cubic foot, the big one. If you make the smaller one, there are 170. So you would naturally sell the bigger bundle for more money, but how much more money? and what would your return on investment be? When I negotiated the contracts, I negotiated the smaller bundle. I think the smaller bundle makes a lot more sense. There's a lot of people, you know, that don't want all that wood, and they don't want that extra weight to have to carry around. And here's a piece of elm. We're probably going to be having a lot of that here in the future. A little inside joke for you with Ohio Woodburner. Other things that people do with bundles, especially for retail, is they will put handles on them. And there are companies out there that their business is making handles for bundles. I had looked into them. I was talking to the one guy who's in business. I think he was in Minnesota or something. He had contracts with producers like down south. I can't remember where it was, but they were ordering hundreds of thousands of these bundle handles. I was like, my gosh, I'm just a small-time producer here trying to have some fun making firewood and making ends meet. So my point would be, I am here making bundles and I'm gabbing to you. And the next thing I know, this is my 15th one. And it just seems to go a lot faster than what you think it would. Try to avoid. I stacked all these up and there's a gigantic hole through the middle of it. So the customer's gonna get gypped. So I'm just going to rework these logs and make it come out right. There are a lot of ways that you can bundle firewood, and I tried the bags. I tried that string that you get when you buy some lumber at Home Depot. And it all comes down to what are your goals. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's a lot of people that are making decent money wrapping wood like that. My goal was professionalism, and I wanted to be able to get into the convenience stores because they seem to pay more from what I've looked into. The whole focus that I try to do with firewood is to add value to it, and bundling it is one way. What I have learned though is that it's more than just bundling it. You got to have a process set up, because are you going to keep an inventory of bundles around? And then if so, where are you going to keep it? Can you keep it out of the weather? Can you keep the cats from peeing all over them? Can you keep the insects out of them? And if you can't, then you have to make your bundles for the delivery. And if you're doing that, you have to have a place to make them. You got to have logs that are kept out of the rain, because the first thing I learned is that you never want to wrap logs that just had been rained on, because they dry out real quick and then you're left with a loose bundle. There you go. That's 30 bundles. They're all wrapped and are ready to go to the campground. I have another delivery that's going out to a house here in an hour, and then these will be going over to the campground before evening. I just wanted to show you the wrapper, how it works. I'll post more videos of it in the future, but I also wanted to discuss the bundle market, and maybe it'll give you some ideas if you're thinking of doing it yourself. I want to thank everyone for watching. I'm going to put links for everything that I'm using in the description below, but please like and subscribe to this channel, and I hope that everyone has a great day.